My name is Andrew. I'm filling in for Nick Pescott, who's off doing bigger and better things out in North Vancouver. But one thing that I have that he doesn't is I have In My Coma live in studio with me right now. What's going on, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
So just to briefly introduce you, we have Jasper here to my left, which really matters to you guys listening in. But Jasper to my left here, the vocalist and lead guitar.
Yep.
Cool.
Only guitar.
Only guitar. Yeah. I
So
realized that right after I
lead
said it.
guitarist,
Wait a
yeah.
minute. I guess you would be the lead guitar.
You might want to say lead singer and guitarist. Just
Ooh.
put the lead in front of the singer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so I'm going to turn over here.
Okay.
Turn my back to you. And over here we have drummer Mike.
Lead drummer.
Lead drummer. That's right. Is there a rhythm drummer?
There's only one.
There's only one? You sure? Okay. Okay. And we have Laura on bass.
Backup bass.
Backup bass. I can see this interview is going to go terribly already. So we're going to play some more music, and I'm going to try to get things under control here. So, for people here who are just listening in and that haven't heard of In My Coma before, describe yourselves.
And everybody
This is
looks
your
to
part.
Jasper. All right, if I was to describe In My Coma, I guess what we like to tell people for the most part is that it's heavy. It's heavy to the average listener, but there's definitely some elements of my British heritage in the music, whether it's notes or the melodies that we use with the underlying chord changes and things like that. So I would probably compare it to a Depeche Mode that got angry and decided to use heavy electric guitars through Marshall amps. Does that work?
Sure.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the support there.
I was like, I hope you're not asking me. I'm sure. Yeah, whatever you said, that's
It's nice to know that I can fall back on my band if I need to.
We'll let the listener decide, too.
Yeah, excellent.
The drummer response.
And we'll give them a response to do that right now. Where can they find you guys on the internet?
Well, we're pretty social media savvy, so we're on pretty much everything. There's Twitter /In My Coma, Facebook /In My Coma, etc. I think what we use for the most part is the Facebook page, but you can type in www.inmycoma.com, and that'll redirect you to the Facebook page right now, where you can also listen to songs, see videos, see what crazy storms we're cooking up, etc.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I have a question for everybody individually, so you guys can fight amongst yourselves as to who gets to answer first.
Laura pointed to me, everyone.
Points to Jasper, okay. So how did you get started in music?
Music. It's tough to, I think if you're a musician, it's sometimes tough to pinpoint the exact that you started music. It's something that you evolve into. Growing up, my parents listened to Depeche Mode. My parents were born in England, so was I, but I lost my accent when I hit puberty. You grow up listening to a lot of the music that they listen to, and you just end up getting into it somehow. I can't remember the first time I picked up a guitar. I can't remember the first time I listened to a song. I can't remember the first time I decided I want to play that song or I want to play music. But I do remember one of the first songs I learned, and that was off of 16 Stone. It was Glycerine, one of the first songs. That was terrible. But that's how it went from there.
He's looking at me when he said it.
No, just because you're, I guess, a big Bush fan. Laura's nodding, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, taking out the earrings.
Yeah, and so, I mean, you know that something in you just decides that music is what you want to do, and it's not something that you can necessarily explain, but I've wanted to do it since I was in high school. It's just been a matter of finding the right members, and that right there is a chore in itself. That's a journey that could take a novel to describe, but I think that we're finally in a place where we have members that are dedicated, and we all get along, and we all work really well together, and things are starting to look up for us, and I'm really proud of everything we've done so far, and it seems like only good things are to come.
Cool.
I wish I could hug Laura and Mike right now, but they're on the other end of the room.
Yeah, and there's about a 7-foot gap between the two of them.
Yeah.
It means Andrew's getting a hug in between somehow.
Yeah, I like where that story's going. So how about yourselves, Mike and Laura? How did you guys get started in music?
Similar sort of answer in terms of not being able to pinpoint it exactly, but do you want me to be honest?
No, I want you to lie directly to me.
Be honest,
I'm
Mike.
going to make an elaborate story up
Please
for the
do.
listeners.
Okay.
The first time that I really got interested in drumming itself, and I guess music in turn, was Garth's drum solo from Wayne's World. maybe I haven't even told these two before, but I lost my mind when I saw that. I bought drumsticks, or I got my parents to buy me drumsticks, dressed as Garth for Halloween.
Wasn't
and
it
then
Animal as well?
Animal's amazing, too. You know what? Animal, props to Animal. But then I think I hit a drum kit for the first time, maybe 2 years after that, and I was able to play a basic beat with fills right off the bat, and just then it was insane, just buying albums, listening to music.
Nobody
playing
knows
music.
what happened since then, though.
No, there's a big black space in between. But then, as Jasper mentioned, I met him and Laura. Being in bands my whole life, it's always very difficult to get a certain number of members. So 3 is maybe easier than 5. So maybe we're cheating, but it's the right formula right now and the right group. And like you mentioned, it's the future is looking very promising for us.
All right. Excuse me, I'm a little bit sick. I've always listened to a lot of music ever since I can remember. These two say they don't remember. I remember I was always listening to music since I was born. So, and I was always dancing. The second I could stand up, if anything was on, I was dancing to it. So, I had originally started out in dance as well as figure skating. So I always had this rhythm, and I could always get into the beat and whatever, and I was on time all the time. And then the first time I realized I wanted to actually play the music was when I had heard Hole's cover of Fleetwood Mac's song Gold Dust Woman, and I just thought it was incredibly powerful, and ever since then I was so inspired to play, and that's when I started. And I gave up dance, I gave up figure skating. I said, Dad, I need a guitar. And he went, and he was so happy. He's like, I'm buying you a guitar. So he did, and ever since he's been like, yeah, go. He'll support me all the way. So it's pretty much ever since then. Yeah.
Excellent.
Laura's story was the best out of everybody's.
And side note, her dad's one of our number 1 fans.
Yeah. If you ever see a guy named Jerry commenting on things on our Facebook page, that's who it is.
Awesome.
Props to Jerry.
Big G.
Is he listening in right now?
Probably.
Actually, I don't know if he is tonight.
Oh,
Well, that's good. We can be a little bit more risque.
Yeah.
sweet. So I want to talk a little bit briefly about your English heritage, which you've mentioned now. How does that come out in either how you're writing your songs or how you perform them? But how does that come out in your music?
Well, that's an interesting question, and I guess it's one that I have to get used to answering if we're going to say that we sound, or our sound is Briturnative, and I was born in Britain, and that's a big influence on me. So I think what it is it might not necessarily be the fact that I'm from England. It's just the surroundings that I had growing up. You know, my parents listened to all the British bands, and so growing up, I think I heard every single Depeche Mode song at least 200 times, and so that was a big part of where I came from. And then, you know, some of the heavier British rock bands, whether that being the Stones, if you consider them heavy or not, and Zeppelin and things like that. So I got this really odd fusion of Brit rock, Brit pop from the 80s and 90s, just infusing my soul. Then growing up during the grunge era, that's probably where I got some of my heavier influences. So that, you know, it all just combined into this odd melange of music that I ended up listening to. And I think it comes across in the music because there are a lot of songs that, you know, we've had people tell us that we sound like AC/DC meets Green Day, which I don't think is a very accurate depiction at all. It always makes me giggle, but Sanjar, who might actually be directing a video for us soon. But one of the greatest things is that when people tell us they think they hear a certain band in us, it's always somebody different, whether it's, you know, somebody thinks they hear Smashing Pumpkins in a song or Bush in a song. Other people think they hear, you know, The Cult in a song or The Cure in a song or Depeche Mode in a song. So it's really nice to have such an eclectic album that so many different people can relate to in a way. And I think that's partly due to the fact that I'm from somewhere over the pond and then came somewhere with music that everybody else in the area is used to.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the album now, and we're going to talk about it. But before we do that, we have to do this thing on the show where we play a bunch of music of people that we feature on the show. It's kind of one of those things that we do.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a music break, and fade out, but instead of doing that, I'll just leave it on the same volume, put the microphone back on. You're listening to Radio Nation. I'm Andrew. I'm here with In My Coma. That's Jasper. That's Laura. And that's Mike.
Hi.
Cool. So right now we're listening to the tail end of Losing Sleep off of the album
Magnets and Miracles.
I always said that in unison. We have something like going on here now.
We were looking each other in the eyes when I said it too.
Yeah,
it was a miracle.
Magnets.
Yeah. That got a little weird. I got weird feeling with it. So anyway.
Still weird.
Yeah, it kind of is. So I'm gonna turn this off now. There we go. That kind of did it itself. So talk to me a little bit about, I guess, this song, but talk to me about the album as a whole and the process that went into it.
Wow.
Which I know is a really big question, so let me break it down for you.
No, that's okay.
When did you get started on the album?
Yeah, the album's been a work in progress, that's for sure. I mean, we started on it a long time ago. And I mean, it depends on the way you want to look at it. Track 14, My Friend, I wrote when I was 16, so that was ages ago. And by ages, I don't mean that long ago. I'm not like 30 or anything.
Don't age yourself. Jeez.
I know, just kidding. Like I wrote that song quite a while ago, and then all of the others. It took a long time to piece together a lot of songs that we wanted to use. I think we had this grandiose idea of what we wanted the album to be, and we wanted it to be a collection of songs, but a collection of different songs that weren't all the same and would take you into different places. Which is also why we decided on the name In My Coma for the band, because we wanted something that would allow us to broaden our horizons a bit musically and visually. And so with a band name like In My Coma, it really paved the way for an album that took you on some sort of a journey. So from the very beginning of the album to the end, we like to think that we did a decent job creating moods throughout. And so we split up some of the songs with some interludes in between, including the end of that song, Losing Sleep. And then there are a couple more in there. One More Black Hole's a nice little interlude we put in there. And then even the title track of the album, number 8, Magnets and Miracles, is only 12 seconds long. And it's just basically a creepy voice saying Magnets and Miracles. So, we threw in some gems there for some true fans that wanted to hear some stuff, and we really just wanted to create something that flowed from the beginning to end, but then also had some of those individual songs in there that would stand out to people. So right now the song that we're trying to get people to listen to is the one we just listened to, Losing Sleep.
Cool.
And we've had pretty good reception on that so far. Alan Cross actually included it in one of his 11 songs you have to hear on his blog, which was a really cool thing to have happen.
Cool. And I guess that's a good way to back into my next question is how are you guys using social media to connect with not only your fans but with people in the industry to help get your name out there?
Social media, it's an incredible tool. I don't think people really understand social media that well. I know I didn't even 6 months ago. We had our Facebook page, and we just assumed that people would land on our Facebook page, love us to death, and then stay there forever and tell all their friends, and things would just happen, I think a lot of bands like to think that that's the reality of things, but the truth is that it's not. And in this day and age, you really don't get anywhere unless you're dedicated and you want to do things, and you push yourselves to do it. And so, honestly, it took some thought, but we conversed about it quite a bit, and then once we really started to get used to Twitter and Facebook and how they could be used together and how we could get our music out there, then things really started to click. And one of the things we made a deal about early on is that we're never going to use any of these robots or anything to get fans or anything like that. We want to do everything as humanly as possible. So, if we send a message out to somebody on Twitter, it's either Laura, Mike, or me going through pages and seeing somebody who likes certain bands, and we think that they might like us, and so we send them a message. So we spend a lot of time on Twitter every day.
We don't sleep a lot.
Yeah, we don't sleep a lot, that's for sure. In fact, everything's tying back to that song, Losing Sleep. Yes, I got it in there.
Yeah, way to go.
Yeah.
I wasn't even making that connection.
I know.
Good for you.
But we've received so much positive feedback on Twitter, not only for the song, but then we have people saying, they really appreciate how personal we are on our Twitter and how we respond to everything that comes our way. Whether it's Mike, Laura, or me, we respond to pretty much everything that comes in there, and we try to engage everybody as much as possible. So I think using social media in that sense, it brings everybody a lot closer. And in this day and age, you don't want to be the band that's at a distance from everybody. You want to be the band that people feel like they can communicate with. And I know we have some super fans out there that have really helped us out. Yamlet's been great. And then we have Lucas in Brazil who helped us. I think he promoted us to everybody and their uncle in his neighborhood, because once he started tweeting or Facebooking about us, he got 100 other Brazilians to add us, and that was incredible. So
That's awesome.
Our goal is to rock in Rio one of these days soon. And even no matter what, we'll play to at least 100 people.
And if you look at our we have access to see who our fans are on our page. Canada's number 1 and Brazil's number 2.
Awesome.
Yeah, so thanks, Lucas.
So I guess that's a shout out to people in Brazil to take over the number 1 spot.
Yeah, it is. They got a way to go.
Challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, Radio Nation, based in Canada's largest city, is promoting Brazil, taking over Canada as the number 1 fans of In My Coma.
Yeah.
And Mike said we were cheaters at the beginning of this interview. This is going really well. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, I guess, well, obviously Brazil, but like, where are some of your fans from that are like, you never thought that you would hear, that people would hear you?
Belarus.
Really?
Yes, I'm serious.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Indonesia, Philippines, New Zealand.
Cool.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's
diverse
incredible.
states
You know,
everywhere.
the internet. I don't think there are no borders with the internet.
Right.
Well, I guess there are some countries that there may be borders, but for the most part, there are no borders with the internet. And so, when you're using something like Twitter or Facebook, the possibilities are endless. And I think that's just a truly wonderful thing. So being able to reach out to somebody in Philippines and speak to them as if they're right here, it's amazing. And what's also nice about it is that we can have comments going onto our Facebook page 24/7. There's always somebody awake.
There's a time zone. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, the sun never sets on the In My Coma fan base.
exactly.
Right
Well, we
on.
like to think so.
That's excellent.
Maybe we're just kidding ourselves, but one day.
So I want to switch gears a little bit. Go back to Magnets and Miracles. Take me through, I guess, the writing on the writing side of it for. I guess we'll go with Losing Sleep, since that's the one we're promoting the most. So, take me through how that was written and where that came from.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'll just give you, like, when I write songs, I do things differently pretty much every single time. I don't have a formula or anything that I use. I'm pretty savvy with the computer and the electronic effects that you can use. So sometimes I'll use a computer to start something up. I'll just come up with a beat and I'll create the music from there, or on the acoustic guitar first. But Losing Sleep, I remember when I wrote that, it was late at night, and I do this a lot. I title the song before I actually come up with lyrics for it. And so in the song Losing Sleep, you'll notice I never actually say Losing Sleep in the song, and it's because what I like about that is because what I was doing is I was portraying, I guess, an emotion that I was feeling at the time. So it was late at night, wasn't able to sleep, and I was just coming up with this piece that I ended up writing. And I actually came up with a song and the guitar melody first, so the way that the song opens, and then the rest of the song just came from there. And I remember after I wrote it, I really like it, and I thought it was perhaps a throwaway song until I sent it to the rest of the band, and then some of the people we were recording with, or the people that were helping us record. And the feedback from them was just phenomenal, and it made me have to rethink the way I was looking at some of the songs I was writing, because they all loved it, and we started to use it, and it became an instant favorite in the band. And then after recording the entire album, I really can't see us not using that song, because that's the one that people have noticed out of everything, and that's the one that stood out. So it just goes to show you, I may be able to write the song, but when it comes to deciding which one should stay on the album, don't trust me.
Awesome. So let me throw this back over to Mike and Laura, who are guys, in fact, still in studio with me, I promise. I didn't kick them out or anything.
I'll shut up now.
We all love to listen to Jasper talk.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But
And he likes to listen to himself talk.
So what does that mean for you guys as far as the writing process goes? How often do songs get, I guess, modified, changed, added, thrown away? What happens to songs that are when they get sent over to you guys, I guess?
I always tell Jasper to cut out the solo at least in half because I already know that's what our producer's gonna do.
Yeah.
And it's always a good idea because you have to he writes the song. And it'll be 7 minutes, and he'll be like, God, this is going to be a radio song. This is great. And we're like, no, nobody wants a 7-minute radio song.
Laura's
unless you're too
exaggerating
old.
a little bit. I don't write 7-minute songs.
Yeah, you do.
6.5 minutes.
So
Yeah,
pretty
there
much,
you go.
I'll cut it in half, and then Mike will just add the beat. So.
Oh, I think
It's changed a lot.
Yeah, there are definitely some interesting things that happen when the song gets created, because when I write the song on my computer, I put a beat to it and everything like that, but I'm always limited in what I can do on the computer, and I'm limited by my own mind in a sense as well, because I have my ideas, but then I don't even know what Mike or Laura will be thinking when they start to put things into the song. So no matter what, it always sounds different. If I were to play you the original version of Voices compared to the version of Voices that is on this album, the difference is staggering. It's the same song, but it's completely changed. The feel is different. The textures are different, and what Laura and Mike are doing in the song is completely different. I know I took over for them as well, but I just didn't think they were giving themselves enough credit, because when they get the songs, it changes up quite a bit. And Mike's just a genius with where to throw in fills and how to change the beat and create moods with the beat and everything like that. So they do a lot.
I still think I just cut out the solos.
Hey, trimming the fat is a good thing too.
Yes.
And laying down the low end.
Woo.
Good stuff. So, talk to me a little bit about where people can come to see you, where you guys have played before, and okay, well, let's just start with that. So, where have you guys played recently?
Well, we the last show that we played was at the Garrison in Toronto. It was a
Cool.
charity show for the Young Street Mission. And coming up, we've got a Valentine's show at the Horseshoe in Toronto. That would be on February 14th, appropriately.
For all the single people
So
out
come and
there.
get your heart on with In My Coma on the Valentine's show. Couple other, that was Heart, Heart. And then we have a few other
we'll
Canadian.
just go with it.
We're going with it. And
This
then,
is live. I can't stop.
This is what happens when we let Mike speak.
and then a couple more out of town shows coming up, and Canadian Music
Canadian
Week's
Music Week.
happening in
Yeah,
March.
that'll
It's
be a lot
another
of
big
fun.
one, which will
Awesome.
be great. And
Yeah, so they asked us back to Canadian Music Week, and last time we played Canadian Music Week was great. We played with Never Ending White Lights at the Cherry Colas. I don't know if you've been to Cherry Colas, but it's a really cool sort of velvety place in Toronto on Bathurst. Yeah, and we seriously played at maybe midnight and stayed there till 5:30 in the morning, and then after that, Mike, Laura, and I were sick for 2.5 weeks. We were all dead. So we're looking forward to doing that again.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we're playing. We don't know where we're playing, but we'll keep all the details on our Facebook page. But we're just in it for the long haul. We're in it to get sick again this year.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And we hope everyone comes and gets sick with us.
Are there tickets for the show at the Horseshoe, or is it kind of a show up thing?
It's a show up thing. I
Cool.
think.
I
It'll
think
be
it's
$5
free.
at the
No,
door.
it's free.
Oh, is it free?
Yeah, it's the Edge New Music Night, so every
Oh, okay,
Tuesday
right
it's
on.
free. So come on out. It's a free date within my coma
On Valentine's Day.
on Valentine's
no less.
Day. Yeah.
Right on. So.
All the single ladies.
Oh,
Andrew will be there
ladies.
with us for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that'll be a good time. So, where was your, I guess, absolute favorite? And I'm hoping there'll be 3 different answers. But where was your absolute favorite place to play so far? I know yours was. Well, I'm assuming yours was the Cherry Colas.
Yeah, I think actually, you know what? I might have to change that. We played a great show in London, and it was a smaller place. I'd never really heard of it. I don't think too many people have heard of it, but we had so many fans there that we'd never met them before, but they were right up at the front of the stage singing the songs. And for a band like us, we don't have too many fans yet in the area. We don't get too much radio play yet. But for people to be up there just cranking out the tunes, blasting them with us, that was incredible, and it helped us get into it more, and so we ended up one with the crowd, and I think that's the first real time I've experienced that.
And we had technical issues we were fighting through. I bled, overall.
Mike cut his
What?
hand open
I
on the
cut my
drums.
hand and
How
I
did you
bled
do that?
everywhere because I hit my hand on the drum and it sliced
Lovely.
it open.
Oh,
So
man.
overall, It was an amazing show. We had so much fun. And CD release party at Cherry Cole's. We did our CD release there in August. That was one of my favorites.
Mike signed a boob.
Signed my first boob, as did
You
Laura.
did? I did.
I think everybody did.
No. Oh, yeah, but I signed it first.
I
so.
came and got a handle on it and signed. I signed the heck out
Take
of that.
credit
boob.
for that. I pulled that one.
And
yeah.
your listeners are gone.
Yeah, this story's walking on a tightrope right now. We got Mike grabbing boobs.
I'm sorry.
that
We all
jazz.
shared it.
They didn't grab boobs. He just signed one.
Okay, well that's.
Let's not make him out into something that he's
I only
not.
touched it with the pen.
Okay, it was just how you said got a handle on it. I just assumed that's what you meant. So.
Oh, I was trying to tame it down.
I don't even know what to say to that.
I know. We have a habit of doing this to people.
I had a next question in my head. I have no idea what it is now.
This is what I love. Our album is pretty dark, but then when you meet us, we're a laughing bunch of people, you know. So
That's
we
awesome.
like to have a good time and we laugh, but our music is pretty dark and serious when you look at it.
So what does that mean for, I guess, I almost want to say stage show, but to be so happy, fun-loving, and then be playing almost, I guess, these dark, like how does that contrast work when you're on stage?
Well, I think, you know, you become something else when you're on stage. I think when we're on stage, you just get into this mindset that you're in it together, and you all become one up there, and that's why this lineup for me is the best one we've had to date, and it's the one that I hope lasts for eons to come, because when we're up there playing live, there's just nothing beats it, and I hope that crowds end up seeing that, and we're able to deliver that to everybody as well. What do you
take
guys
that
think?
very seriously. So
Yeah.
I was a little disappointed when you said you just become something else on stage. I was like, yeah, I become a dragon, breathing fire while I'm singing.
Yeah.
A little disappointed in that.
Yeah.
I become a boob signing drummer.
And how you do that while you play drums, that's impressive. You have to see that
You
when
have
you
to
go
come
to
out live.
You have to come to the Horseshoe on Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, Horseshoe.
All the single ladies.
All the single ladies.
All the single ladies.
Well, on that note, this interview's gone absolutely off the rails. So
We're gonna cut to a Beyonce song.
If I had them on, I would. If I had permission to play them, I would play them. But here we are. So I'm going to play another one of your songs. Pick a song on your album, Jeff.
Sure. I'd kind of like to tame it down a bit and play track 14 on our album. This is the one I wrote when I was 16 years old. It's probably my favorite song on the album as well. I don't know if the others agree, but that's the one that we're going to go with. So this one's called My Friend.
Awesome. So you're listening to Radio Nation with Andrew and In My Coma.
Sitting here watching you lose breath, watching you as you get colder, watching you not growing older, and I can't sleep on either shoulder. Sitting here watching you lose life, watching you as you stop healing, knowing that you've lost your feeling, wondering why the grin is stealing. My friend, the end is coming up on you now. A kamikaze hopeful future, a kamikaze hopeful future. And I saw the rain in my head, beating down on your sad fortune. And I found the chain that you led, of memories left in the open, of memories left not yet spoken. Another life has just been stolen. Sitting here watching the crowds go down, watching you as you go under. Hades knows that you fear thunder, and now I've lost another brother, my friend. The end is coming up on me now, dreaming of a better future, dreaming of a better future. And I saw the rain in my hair, beating down on your sad fortune. And I found the chain that you left, of memories left in the open, of memories left not yet spoken. Another life has just been stolen. Another life has just been stolen. Sitting here watching you lose breath, watching you as you get colder, watching you not growing older, and I can't sleep on either shoulder.
they're ready, that means that the show's ready to go back on. You're listening to Radio Nation. It's exactly 9:01 Eastern Standard Time, so that means it's whatever time, wherever you're listening. I'm here with In My Coma, and that was... I did just play Dreamers, right? Okay, I just want to make sure that I promo the right song. So talk to me a little bit about that song.
Oh, that's an interesting one. I mean, I say this story a lot when we play live, but when I originally wrote Dreamers, this is one of those ones that I wrote on an acoustic guitar late one night. And when I originally came up with it, instead of saying the I'm a dreamer, right, or whatever it is, I came up with this like ooh part, and I fell in love with it almost immediately. But the next day, I forgot how to play the song, and I knew that there was something there, and it was almost on the tip of your tongue, you know, but I just couldn't play it, and I couldn't sing it anymore, so I had to put my guitar down very angrily.
Did it smash?
No, it did not smash, though I have
okay.
done that before, but
okay.
that was in my youth. And then
Remember
I
those
think...
little Juicy Fruit commercials where they used to do that? Just some guy would come in and just smash a
Yeah, those were great.
Yeah,
those
yeah.
were great. And
I'm
it took...
totally trying to sidetrack you now.
Yeah. But it
Sorry.
took about a week, right, of moments like that, of
Right.
talking about other things, before I picked up the guitar and it just came back again. So it's kind of cool that I got to write that song twice, it seems.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, and let's talk a little bit about My Friend, which you said you wrote when you were 16?
Yeah.
Cool. So,
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Yeah, that's probably the closest song to me on this album, which is probably why I'm biased and I like it the most on the album. It's by far my favorite. That was just, you know, I think everybody goes through rough times in their life at one stage or another. If you haven't gone through a rough time in your life, then I don't think you've ever truly lived. So that was probably one of the worst days I've had to go through. I won't go into too much detail, but it's a very close song, and it touches on a lot of things that I think people are afraid to talk about or afraid to think about, that being death for the most part, right? And so in that sense, it's a pretty heavy song, but...
Just coming from a guy who cannot talk about death.
Yeah. I won't talk about death with
But
anybody.
that's the way he did it, through a song.
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly. So I think everybody has their ways of things out, and that was just my way of getting the story of that day out.
Fair enough. So you mentioned that that's your closest song to you on the album.
Which song is the furthest from you?
Not where I was going with that, but if you have an answer to that question, sure.
Yeah.
I'll hear it.
No, just kidding.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I guess what's I almost want to say favorite, but that feels, I don't know, a little instant. What's your favorite song on the CD?
Those last two are two of my favorites, Dreamers and My Friend, but I like them all.
That's
I'm
good.
I'm biased too. I like them all. I like to play them all. I like to listen to them all.
I think it's different. Or I'll let Laura answer first. What's your favorite?
I'd say my favorite one to play live, if anybody's holding the CD there, turn it around, and you'll see track number 10, Crazy World. That's my favorite. Yeah.
Thank you and
a
good
good
night.
rock.
Laura just walked out of the studio, if anybody didn't see.
And why is Crazy World your favorite song to play live?
It's rockin'.
Cool.
Just
And
it's an awesome bass groove, that's why.
Yeah. And it's on an offbeat, too, so it's like...
We'll sign off with that one.
Yeah, we'll
later.
probably
Yeah.
sign off
I
with
was,
that one.
I was absolutely thinking, okay, so we got to play that song next, is what you're saying?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So, what sets In My Coma apart to, I guess, labels that are looking at you guys or to fans? What sets you guys apart from other bands that, like, what about your sound?
Other than Mike's leather jacket, I think what sets us apart is basically our willpower. We're not a bunch of lazy. I'm not saying that all bands are lazy, but you know there is this stereotype of bands, and it's true in a lot of cases where they just won't work for what they want. And I think we all know what we want. We have a common goal, and we work hard to get it. And like I said earlier, we really connect with our fans. We do everything that we possibly can to get them closer to the band so that they can feel like they're a part of it. And we take everything absolutely seriously. You know, I don't know if anybody watches Flight of the Conchords, but that's a hilarious show about two guys that come all... I'm plugging someone else's show that they clearly don't need help plugging it. But it's about two guys that come from New Zealand. They're in like just the worst band in the history of humankind. and they have band meetings every week, and these band meetings are, for them, some of the most pointless wastes of time ever, where they're just like, fans, we need to get more than one, you know? But we do that. We do that on a regular basis. We have band meetings every week, you know? We plan our shows out. We plan how we're going to get fans. We basically plan our domination.
We Skype. That's how serious we are.
We Skype with one another.
That's awesome.
You know? We have three-way Skyping going.
You can Skype anywhere. Mobile Skype.
So we're plugging Skype now. Okay.
And Flight of the Conchords.
Everybody, yeah, watch Flight of the Conchords and use Skype to watch it with friends.
Speaking of Skype, if I can take over the show for about 10 seconds. In the weeks to come, we're going to be updating our use of Skype because we noticed we're kind of, using a lot of bands that are from the GTA, so they're within driving distance. So what we were thinking was, Radio Nation, we want to start getting more bands on the show that are from the West Coast or from Florida, places like that, places that aren't within a half hour of Toronto. So what we're going to be doing is using Skype here live in the studio. Bought the hardware today, so this is where I want to thank Ray, who's working at the Long and McQuaid out in Scarborough, who's not listening now because they just closed 8 minutes ago, but promised I would give him a shout out. So if you ever need anything musically, go to Ray at Long and McQuaid in Scarborough. Thanks, Ray. Yeah.
We were thinking about giving away a CD, so...
We were?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we were.
Yeah.
Right, that's like...
And I wanted to come up with a question. I have the question.
Okay, do I have to answer this question?
No, you don't have to answer this question.
If I answer the question, do I get the CD?
Well, we were going to give you one anyway.
Okay, cool.
But now this is more fun.
So I can get a second CD.
You could get a second CD.
Okay.
So some radio shows have a stump the show kind of game. So if you can answer the question,
Oh, crap.
and then the listener has to call in, and I don't know if you can't answer it and they beat you, then
It's
yeah,
Twitter
stump the show
Tuesday.
or something.
They're going
I
to
don't
Twitter in.
Yeah.
Tweet in.
Tweeting,
Twit in.
whatever.
Yeah, we are not capable of doing phone calls here in the
know.
studio.
Oh, I thought that worked.
My cell phone number is...
Yeah, I thought it worked too, and then I tried it.
So however you want to do it, you can try to answer it, or you can leave it open to the Twitter peeps.
So here's what I'll do. Tweet the answer to radio_nation. So that's twitter.com @radionation. Or email us, radionation@hotmail.com. Put contest or question or something related to that in the subject line. Or facebook.com/radionation.
And here's the question, folks. How old was Jasper when he wrote the song My Friend? How old
I
was
do have the
Jasper
answer to that.
when he wrote the song My
But
Friend?
I'm holding my copy of the CD in my hand right now, so I'm going to let somebody else answer that. So first person to tweet at radio_nation, email us, Facebook us, send us smoke signals, call us, meet us on the street, come on down, 951 Carlisle Avenue, Toronto, Ontario. You'll win a copy of the CD, and I might even get these guys to sign it if they're really super awesome nice.
No, sorry, we can't do
Yeah,
that
no,
today.
okay, no signing. But in the meantime, I'm going to let you guys mull that question over and send me a response. So we're going to play a
Crazy
song
World.
that...
Crazy World, track 10.
Sorry, Mike.
He took it away.
I was gonna let you pick what
Can I
song we were
still
going to play
do
next. Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
Crazy World, track 10.
So you're listening to Radio Nation. I'm Andrew. That was Mike. Over there is Jasper, and this is Laura. And you're listening to the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
right. I probably should have asked if you guys were ready to go back yet, but I didn't. So
Oh, we were always ready.
Okay, cool. So that was a whole bunch of music by some band. I don't know if they really are. I'm trying to give away their CD, and
Sting.
everybody's mom is answering in and be like, I know the answer, which is cool, but
Very true.
My mom's not listening.
I'm
Mike's mom listened.
kind of hoping somebody that doesn't already have a copy of the CD would answer in. But hey,
Who doesn't have a copy of In My Coma's latest album?
I have like 7.
I know.
Yeah, they're just like stockpiled.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool story.
Did you buy them all legitimately?
No, who does that? In defiance of SOPA, I illegally downloaded all of them and then burnt them onto CDs. The album artwork, I don't know how I faked that, but it just kind of happened. As we've proved already, I'm psychic. But anyway,
Good.
that's a different story for a different time. So, let's ask a serious question now, get this interview back on track. How did you guys first break into the scene? Like, how did you get up and going?
Either,
Mike and I are making obscene gestures at one another.
yes.
Yeah, no thank you.
I'm throwing him off on purpose. Mike,
How did
get
you
your
break
group
into
back.
the scene is the question.
Yep.
Oh, and everybody looks at Jasper again. They're all just going to yell at me later for talking the entire time. But anyway, I'll
So how
answer
did you
this
guys
question.
break into the scene?
As in my coma?
Yes.
Oh my God. The way we broke into the scene is we decided to start playing music, and we started to play live shows. And so I think we played the Horseshoe for the first time with Mike, right? Was that your first show?
No.
No.
The Casbah.
Casbah.
in
Ah,
Hamilton.
a nice home in the Casbah.
June 2011.
So
Wow.
yeah, so the way
No,
we broke
2000.
into the scene is we decided to put on an awesome rock show at the Casbah, and we just started booking shows and getting our name out there. That's how you have to do it. You have to start from the bottom. You have to start from the streets. You have to work your way up.
Pound
all
the
right?
pavement.
Life's not fair to people that don't try, and so you got to try. You got to push forward. I don't know why I sound like I'm running for president right now.
I don't either, but
I did not
in.
inhale. Don't no
Okay.
comment, Mike.
So the Casbah?
Yeah, I think, the Casbah's always been really good to us. We actually thank them in our album as well. We thank
Okay.
Cherry Colas and the Casbah in our album. Cherry Colas, we mentioned already, they're in Toronto. Great bar. We had our CD release party there. The Casbah's in Hamilton as well, and they've always had us play there since, the very beginning. And so they're a great place for us.
Holla out to Jenna
Yeah.
Cocozello?
Ziello?
Oh, that wasn't
Cocozello?
embarrassing at all, Mike.
Coco's yellow.
Jenna answered the question. She wins a CD.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, Jenna.
Yeah.
We're so signing it if Andrew has a Sharpie.
Yeah.
I don't know if I do.
It's
this
all
is
right.
awkward.
We'll sign it
You know,
somehow.
the guy at the front desk.
It's
probably-
even more awkward that I've got a belt made out of Sharpies. Zing.
I didn't know if you were joking. I was waiting for you to actually pull a Sharpie out of your belt. Yeah, I take my utility belt with me to every interview.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but
You never know when you're going to need a roll of duct tape.
Jenna wins. But yeah, the Casbah's been really good to us, and
The Casbah's been really good to us, as has Jenna. And so that's the way we broke out in the scene is, staying true to the people that have been true to us. And, loyalty is sometimes a hard thing to find, but it's nice when you have it in clubs that help you out as well.
Jessica also answered correctly. And we've met Jessica. She's really cool. She's from Montreal.
Cool.
She's coming
Oh, yeah,
out
she
of
came out to our
Music Week.
Indie Week show.
Yeah.
That was
Does she
great.
have a copy of the CD? Do you know for sure?
I don't believe
Do you
she
know
does.
what
I
it
don't
is?
know if she does.
I don't believe she does, but I'd also like back from Jenna how often people mispronounce her name so I don't feel alone.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm pretty sure I messed it up too. Unless I nailed it. I'm honestly.
You guys could have been clever like me and just said Jenna,
No.
period.
Nope.
No?
There's probably a lot of Jennas that are fans of your band, so
You're right.
yeah.
There's at least one more CD I think we've got here if someone else can answer 16.
Dummy.
Mike just gives the
It was
answer.
a gimme.
Yeah.
At
How old was Jasper?
Nation 16.
the
There you
answer
go, you
is-
got a CD, man.
Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, we don't make any sense anymore. The witching hour is upon us, ladies and gentlemen.
inside
In My
jokes
Coma
now.
has gone.
Andrew understands us.
Yep.
Yeah, In My Coma has gone off
We
the deep
understand
end.
Andrew.
Yep, that's cool. As long as everybody's getting along here, we're good.
Yeah.
So I got one last serious question before the speed round, where Jasper will be up against Mike and Laura, which I'm understanding now will be basically Laura, as was explained to me off the air. But first, a serious question: what do you guys have, either through using social media or through your attitude as a band and how you perform and how you write songs, but what tips do you have for guys breaking into the music industry or just trying to get together and make a living being a band?
One of you guys want to take that one? Maybe Laura. Laura has a little bit of a different story because whenever we go to shows, people just assume Laura's not in the band a lot of the time, so she has to deal with that on a regular basis as well.
Well, I just noticed you referred to what advice you have for guys. Do you mean people?
Yeah, I do mean people.
Oh, I just totally...
The feminists.
No. Oh, I wasn't trying to be... But just... Okay, so... If there are any...
Before you guys can still go.
Andrew, why are you in the fetal position?
Crying underneath the control board.
I'm so
With
sorry.
Laura's boot marks.
That was not my intent. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I kind of walked into that one.
But yeah,
And the boot mark.
so you're asking. So sorry. Repeat the question. What's our advice for people just
For those starting out.
newcomers? I guess.
Yes.
I don't know.
Anything but guys.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if I want to answer this question now.
I think the most important thing for people starting out is that you have to know what you're getting into. And I'm not going to quote Confucius or anything like that, but the journey is long and it's arduous. So don't give up when you hear the word no. Don't give up when you hear the word non-response from a lot of people, especially club owners. You have to move through things. Nothing's easy, and in the grand scheme of things, the music industry is just that. It's an industry, just like anything else. If you're flipping burgers at a burger joint, or if you're at some sort of a marketing firm, they're all just industries, and everybody's doing the same thing. They're competing for their place to get to the top somehow, or to get as high up as they possibly can. The music industry is no different. It's labeled with glam and fame for a lot of people that gives it this different sort of meaning that sometimes confuses people into thinking that it transcends everything else. So it's hard work and it's persistence. That's it. And I don't know how redundant I can be with this, but you just can't pay attention when people say no. You have to just keep moving forward. You have to keep trucking.
If that's what you really want to do.
Good stuff.
Have you seen that video of
also one
Dave
thing?
Grohl?
If you're at a show and you're the first band to play, please don't leave the gig and leave while the other bands are playing. It's rude.
Yeah.
Or in general, we like to stick around.
Yeah.
Stick around. There's
Support
3-4
your
bands
friends.
playing, and
Good
you're
stuff.
out of town, and you're tired, and you want to go home. We do our best to always stick around.
Yeah, it's a
and
big
we
faux
really
pas.
respect the other bands that do the same thing, and most of them do.
Yeah,
It's
don't
the right thing
leave
to
the
do.
show early. Don't pack your gear while the other bands are playing or anything like that. Though I think there is a rule that if you're playing a gig and there are more band members in the crowd than there are actual fans, it's not a gig. But don't let that stop
And
you
that's,
either.
That's a direct Confucius quote.
It
Yeah.
is.
But you can
Confucius
still party
say.
together and have fun. So
Confucius say, if more band in audience than band, no gig.
Shut up.
Okay. So.
I'm not, okay. So where do you guys see yourselves in? I know this is a question that is asked in every interview ever, but I have to ask it. Where do you guys see yourselves in 5 years from now?
5 years from now. Celebrating the anniversary of this moment.
Awesome. Here on air with me, of course.
We're going to be
You
on
guys
a
will be coming
boat
back.
with champagne.
Yeah, we're going to be on a boat with champagne, auto-tuning our voices.
Bummer. So I'm not invited.
But you're there.
That's cool. Oh, I am there.
Actually, your studio's on a boat in 5
Oh.
years.
Okay. You know what? That sounds feasible.
Yeah.
Let's do
You
that.
never know. Honestly, in 5 years, I would just like to be moving forward. I think, and this is always my definition of success, success isn't, there's no defined place that is success. Success is always having somewhere to go and always having somewhere to move forward. And so for us being a band, it's being able to, get the music out to more people or maybe to travel to new places. And so as long as we still have those options open to us in 5 years, then I would consider that a good place for us to be, and that's where I hope we are.